With the drafting of Brock Bowers, the Raiders will finally break the curse of wasting first-round picks on subpar talent. Bowers is the first blue-chip prospect the Raiders have drafted since 2014 when they selected Khalil Mack 4th overall. Bowers hails from a family of athletes, his father, mother, and sisters all participating at the collegiate level at Utah State University. As a high schooler at Napa Valley High School, Bowers' natural ability became quite apparent. If we're being real, Bowers could go pro at any sport or position that he wanted to. He played wide receiver, tight end, running back, defensive end, linebacker, returned kicks, and even lettered at power forward for the varsity basketball team. But little did he know, Brock would eventually become the next star tight end for his hometown Raiders. Bowers' college recruiting was lukewarm early in the process, but in 2019, colleges scrambled to sign him after he recorded a 4.540 time during the Nike Spark Skills competition at the age of 17. In college, Brock delivered on his potential, winning SEC Freshman of the Year and back-to-back John Mackey Awards as the best tight end in the country, cementing his legacy as the best tight end in college football history. In his final season, Bowers underwent tightrope surgery on his ankle mid-season. Several NFL agents urged him to end his last year and rehab in preparation of the draft. But according to head coach Kirby Smart, that was never an option for Brock. Bowers was expected to miss up to 8 weeks, but came back from surgery in 26 days. Upon his return, Smart commented on the possibility of Brock shutting it down for the season, saying, "Those agents will not be representing him. I promise you that, because all it did was piss him off." Bowers would come back in time for the Bulldogs' SEC title run, which they ultimately fell short against Alabama. In this first play, we have Bowers in 11 personnel, lining up as the tight end with 3 receivers out. It's a split zone concept versus cover 2 shell. Split zone is where the offensive line shifts to one side, leaving the backside defender open to run free. Bowers is the lone guy covering and blocking this backside defender. Bowers fakes the chip block, going away from the direction of the play and peeling off to the flat for a big gain. You can't play soft zone against this guy. He'll burn you every time. Alabama's number 6 takes a bad angle, tackling high, and Bowers makes him pay, finishing with violent intentions for the extra couple of yards. On this play, Brock is lined up in the slot as the 4th wide receiver. Despite only having 53 receiving yards on the day, this play displays his versatility and ability to impact the game, even without the ball in his hands. While he doesn't hold the block long enough for a first down, he gets to his landmark quickly and shifts the defender towards the sideline, creating a seam for the ball carrier to pick up 5 yards on the swing pass. Here we see another split zone concept, this time in a double tight end package. Alabama was burned on a similar route for the first play of the game, so this time they take away Bowers in the flat. The QB makes the completion to the next level, and this is a great example of how Georgia's offense mirrors the pros, running similar concepts from different packages in order to scheme players open. It's going to be difficult for NFL defenses to cover both Bowers in the flat and Devontae running it out to the sideline. On this play, the defense has a substantial lead against Georgia, so they line up in zone coverage. Bowers finds the soft spot in the middle of the field on a post route and comes down with a beautiful hands catch. This shows that he's not just a tight end, he truly has wide receiver skills. In this formation, Bowers lines up trips right as a receiver, with a nice little pseudo run for a medium gain. This is another 11 personnel package. Bowers has the pre-snap motion. With no defender trailing him on the motion, the pre-snap read is to find the soft spot in the zone for the easy first down, a skill which Bowers has no equal to in all of college football. On this snap, we have 4 wide versus a cover 4 zone. The linebacker gives a half-hearted effort at jamming Bowers. The help defender gets caught staring at the QB, and Bowers just settles down in between the two for another first down. Pre-snap, the defense shows blitz, with the strong safety lining up within 10 yards of the line of scrimmage. The linebackers get caught in their back pedal in man coverage, and Bowers finds the soft spot in the zones for a big gain. He keeps the possession through the big hit and survives the catch to the ground. Bowers simply cannot be covered by your average DB. He's too fast and too strong. Poor number 2 of the Tennessee Vols is giving up nearly 40 pounds to Bowers on this one. This touchdown was decided before the ball was even snapped. Bowers has a way to go with some of his tight end skills, but the edge that he plays with in every facet of the game shows that the sky is the limit. This block doesn't even change the result of the play that much, but it sets the tone for every other player on the field. With a bum ankle, Bowers scraps and fights against the larger defender, finishing the block through the whistle. You can't coach this. On this one, the linebacker has the impossible assignment of jamming Bowers at the line of scrimmage while covering him in man coverage. The rub comes late. It's honestly a poor effort on the defender's part. The safety help comes late as well, and there's honestly little they can do once Bowers squares his shoulders up with the line of scrimmage and uses his big frame to convert the first down. A great example of Bowers' versatility is on jet sweeps. He's a lot faster than he looks, and he displays great field vision as a ball carrier. He plants his foot in the ground on the cutback and fools the entire defense and uses all 243 pounds to fall forward for a 5-yard gain. It might not be the flashiest play, but what it does is punishes defenses for playing man coverage, encouraging them to sit back in zone where Bowers does his best work in the passing game. At times, it might not seem fair to judge linebackers for getting burned in coverage by a guy like Bowers, but then you have snaps like this, where Bowers sets the edge in the run game, and those same linebackers he's burning are giving up first downs. The defender snaps Bowers' head back. It's a nasty block. He may even get a piece of Bowers' face mask, but Bowers maintains inside leverage and bench presses number 57 back, setting up the 10-yard run for a first down. We don't see nearly enough of this in Bowers' tape, but it's mostly because he lacks top-end NFL talent throwing him the ball. Here, he lines up as an offset blocker in a 2-point stance and runs a fade route to the sideline, which a guy his size has no business making it down the field as quickly as he does. If you're not actively preparing against a play like this, Bowers will blow up your defensive play calling every single time. He's the most athletic guy in the field, and there's no stopping him unless you actively try to take this out of the game. Here's another jet sweep for Bowers. It's such a big part of the game plan around him because it forces defenses to play honest. Bowers has wide receiver speed. Most of the guys running jet sweeps in the NFL are only a fraction of a second faster than him, but defensive backs have to make legit business decisions when he's coming around unblocked. It's an easy 4+ yards every time. You have to make a choice. You either tackle him or you live to see another day. This is a great blitz pickup by Bowers. He signals that he has the linebacker pre-snap. He stuffs him and the running back breaks away for a free 9-yard gain. Bowers has a lot of room to grow as a blocker, but I think he'll be more than serviceable in this area. He displays willingness and football IQ to make a difference in the run game. It just might take him some time. This ends up being an incompletion, but just look at how Bowers' presence affects the coverage here. The Kelsey comparison is a bit misplaced in my opinion, but this is a good example of how he puts pressure on defense just like Taylor Swift's Boy Toy does. He's blanketed by a linebacker underneath and a single high safety over top, leaving the perimeter receiver in a one-on-one situation in the end zone. The question Raider fans have to ask themselves is this: does this play result in 6 points if it's Devontae Adams making the contested catch at the pylon? I think so. The receiver choking in the end zone on that previous play doesn't matter though. The defense plays it safe, playing prevent defense with all of their defensive backs lining up near the end zone. They only have 3 down linemen here, but Bowers slices through the soft zone coverage like butter, getting not only the 15 yards needed for the first down, but carrying multiple defenders for the yak. This is the type of play that breaks the will of opposing teams. This is what makes Bowers special. This is a solid if not unspectacular block by Bowers, sealing the edge for the running back to pick up the first down in a goal line situation. In this very next play, Bowers seals up the weak side for an easy touchdown run. This might not be flashy. You're not going to see plays like this in other highlight films, but you need to contextualize the big passing plays Bauer makes with these little things that he does on other plays. It poses an interesting dilemma for defensive coordinators to solve. Again, we see why Brock Bowers is the best yards after catch receiver in college, and that's including Marvin Harrison Jr., Malik Neighbors, and every other receiver drafted in the first round. To put things into perspective, Bowers had 2,500 receiving yards with a whopping 47.8% of that coming after the catch. Marvin Harrison Jr. only had 100 more yards in his career, with only 29% of them coming after the catch. Simply put, there wasn't a bigger mismatch in the passing game in all of college football, including the top receivers in the draft. Gorgeous back shoulder pass here for the touchdown. Some guys have it, others don't. Bowers has it. Brock Bowers is a generational prospect who has outperformed several other college tight ends who were either drafted above him or would go on to have stellar NFL careers. Thanks to a historic 6 quarterbacks being taken in the top 10, it's undeniable that the Raiders got insane value in taking him 13th overall. For comparison's sake, Kyle Pitts was drafted 4th overall and is arguably the most athletic tight end prospect we've ever seen drafted in the first round. Despite this, Pitts failed to hold a match to Bowers' college production. Bowers is the best college tight end to ever play the game, playing more like an oversized slot receiver with top-end NFL speed. You could argue he might be a better slot receiver than many pros in the NFL right now, posing a mismatch most defensive coordinators will have a hard time dealing with. His willingness to play through injury and the rave reviews from every coach he's played with shows that he will not only be one of the best Raider players of all time, but one of the best humans in the building that sets the tone on offense for years to come, similar to defensive captain and franchise cornerstone Max Crosby.